this tree was never meant to be small. In the wild, a baobab grows wider than houses, stores water like a living reservoir, and survives where almost nothing else can. And yet, here it is. Reduced. Contained. Called a bonsai. Baobabs evolved under extreme pressure, drought, heat, and open landscapes with no shelter. Their massive trunks aren't aesthetic choices. They are survival structures, built to store water and outlast scarcity. When a tree like this is turned into a bonsai, it forces a larger question. And that question doesn't stop with baobabs. It appears again and again. In flowering bonsai celebrated for beauty. In iconic species prized by museums. And even in trees many people consider safe or familiar. Rare bonsai exist. That much is undeniable. But existence doesn't always mean suitability. And rarity doesn't always mean success. In this video, we're not asking what can be made into a bonsai. We're asking why some trees are celebrated, while others quietly struggle to endure. Few bonsai capture attention like wisteria. Cascading flowers. Fragrance in spring. A tree that seems to perform, on cue. In photographs and exhibitions, Wisteria Bonsai look effortless. Almost theatrical. And that beauty is exactly why they're remembered. In nature, wisteria isn't a tree in the traditional sense. It's a woody climber, a vine. It evolved to stretch, climb, and compete for light by outgrowing its neighbors. Its strength is extension. Flowering, in wisteria, is not decoration. It's an energy-intensive event. The result of long growth cycles and stored reserves. In bonsai form, that same cycle still exists. The flowers arrive. But the cost is often invisible. This is why mature wisteria bonsai are uncommon. Not because they're unknown, but because sustaining that balance, year after year, is demanding. Many wisteria bonsai are remembered for a single season. A moment of spectacle. What's rarely shown is what comes after. The recovery, the restraint, and the long intervals with no flowers at all. In bonsai, beauty that arrives too easily often leaves quietly. Wisteria Bonsai teach us something subtle, that beauty can distract us from asking harder questions. In the next segment, we'll look at a very different kind of rarity, not built on spectacle, but on patience, selection, and time. Because some bonsai aren't rare for how they look, but for how long they endure. Not all rare bonsai demand attention. Some don't bloom. Some don't shock. They simply persist. Japanese white pine belongs to that quieter category. A bonsai valued not for spectacle, but for what it proves over time. Pinus parviflora evolved in the mountainous regions of Japan, where winters are harsh and growth is slow. Its needles are naturally short. Its branching is restrained. These are not traits created by bonsai techniques. They are inherited responses to climate and elevation. White pine grows deliberately, year by year, with no urgency to perform. This is why Japanese white pine bonsai are rare in a different way. Not because they are hard to make, but because they are hard to maintain without rushing. Many of the finest examples are grafted, not to cheat nature, but to respect its limits. Their value doesn't come from one season. It comes from decades of restraint. White pine bonsai change the conversation. They remind us that rarity isn't always about what stands out, but about what endures without demanding attention. And that raises an uncomfortable question. What happens when the most familiar bonsai species are celebrated for beauty, but rarely examined for longevity? That question leads us to the next tree. If there is one bonsai almost everyone recognizes, it's the Japanese maple. Delicate leaves, seasonal color, a silhouette that feels instantly refined. In bonsai culture, maple represents balance and beauty, familiar, admired, and widely accepted. Acer palmatum evolved as a deciduous forest tree, adapted to cool climates, steady moisture, and open root systems. Its fine branching and thin leaves are part of that adaptation, designed for light capture and seasonal shedding. In bonsai, those same traits create elegance. But they also bring sensitivity. Maples respond quickly to stress. Not dramatically, but gradually, over time. Japanese maple bonsai are everywhere. Nurseries, exhibitions, private collections. But long-term, museum-aged maple bonsai are far less common. Popularity creates repetition. Repetition creates familiarity. And familiarity can quietly replace scrutiny. In bonsai, what works beautifully for a decade may struggle over a lifetime. Japanese maple bonsai don't fail loudly. They fade, which makes them harder to question and easier to repeat. In the final segment, we'll look at a tree often considered safe. A species praised for adaptability. And why even resilience can be misunderstood when survival is mistaken for success. When people talk about safe bonsai species, ficus is almost always mentioned first. It tolerates pruning. It survives indoors. It adapts. Compared to baobabs, wisteria, or maples, ficus seems forgiving, resilient by nature, flexible in form. And that reputation is not entirely wrong. But it's incomplete. Ficus bonsai survive because they can tolerate stress. But tolerance is not the same as balance. Many ficus live long lives in containers, yet carry hidden compromises. Structural fatigue, uneven energy distribution, constant recovery rather than steady growth. Survival keeps a tree alive. Success allows it to endure without constant intervention. And that distinction matters more than we often admit. Across this video, we've looked at very different bonsai. Trees that shock, trees that seduce, trees that endure, and trees that quietly adapt. What connects them is not rarity, but the tension between what humans want and what trees can sustain. At Ethereal Bonsai, we don't chase perfection. We observe limits. If this way of seeing resonates with you, explore the next episode, where we step inside museums and ask why some rare bonsai are never put on display.